It's time to speak up. Well, it appears the joke's on me. It appears I have been the biggest fool alive. You see, before the last couple of days, I knew that there was a segment of Maga who just hated, who just wanted to burn the world down, and they don't care who they hurt. In the meantime, I knew there was that section, but I really thought that most of Maga just didn't get it. I really thought they just didn't understand. They didn't understand economics because it's complicated. They hadn't studied Project 2025, so they didn't know what was coming. But I really thought when he got in there and started doing the things that hurt so many people, that they would realize, and that they would. But they don't care. Y'all have been telling me this for 2 months, and I kept saying, no, we just have to explain it to them. We just have. Now, I know there are a few, and I thank you guys. You make it worth sticking with this. But over the last couple of days, I have realized that the majority of Republicans do not care how many people are hurt. And they are exactly what Palpatine said. They're the ones he was talking about when he said he could unalive someone in public and they would still vote for him. I thought they just wanted lower egg prices. I thought they were struggling in the economy and it was hard and they wanted their lives to be easier, and they listened to that. And that's why they voted for him. But they don't care. They literally don't care how many other people in this world are hurt. See, the difference is I'm willing to pay more for my eggs if it means no one in my country goes hungry tonight. I am willing to pay more for my eggs if it means everybody can have an egg. But they really don't care. And I am heartbroken that so many in my country don't care. That so many won't go love their neighbor. But I want to thank those of you who are. You're the ones keeping me going. Go love your neighbor.
Hello everyone, if you are here, it probably means you are searching for an answer, just like I was. For a long time I thought I understood what was happening in this country. I thought if we just explain things clearly, we just lay out the facts, people will wake up and see the bigger picture. But over the last few days, I realized something heartbreaking, and I can't stay silent anymore. This channel is about truth, it's about facing the reality of where we are as a country, having tough conversations and pushing for a future where we actually take care of each other. If you believe in justice, in fairness, in actual loving your neighbor, not just saying it, then you are in the right place. I don't have all the answers, but what I do know is that silence got us here, and silence would get us out. So if you are ready to face the truth, to challenge the narratives, and to push for something better, then hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Let's have real conversations. Let's build something better together.
I feel really sad for this lady. This lady poured her heart out about how she was trying to change the minds of people in Maga as soon as, she started to recognize what Trump and the Republicans were doing and how they were hurting so many people in our country. And I can relate to that. I can relate to that in a big way, because before the election, I was doing a lot of what she was saying that she was doing, going into lives, talking with people, trying to change their mind, trying to teach people about economics and civics and how our state systems work, how our federal systems work. Like, I went hard trying to educate the right wing in this country and teach them about what Trump was going to do. Now that we're after the election, and after talking with so many goddamn Trump supporters, I've literally lost a few points to my IQ. I can safely say that I absolutely will not engage with these people anymore. There's only so many times I can teach people the difference between liberalism and communism. There's only so many times I can explain that tariffs are paid for by the consumer and not by the companies that are making the goods. There's only so many times I can argue about how immigration into this country from the South, what we're talking about, illegal immigration, It's an economic problem. It needs to be solved with economic means. You can't solve an illegal immigration problem by just deporting desperate people back to their countries of origin. Desperate people are going to do desperate things. They're going to come right back here, and it'll just have been a waste of fucking money. There's only so many times where I can engage in good faith with people that I know are not going to engage in good faith with me. And that's my biggest issue with the right wing, is that I'm pretty sure that they know what they're doing, right? They just don't care who they hurt, and they don't care if they hurt themselves doing it. They're just going to continue doing it because they have to be right. They don't have a sense of embarrassment. They don't have a sense of, shame. They don't care. They don't care. They don't care, and they never will. And I feel so bad that this lady that it took so long for this lady to figure this out. And I have to admit, I'm with her, man. It's heartbreaking knowing that there are so many Americans in this country that just don't give a fuck about their fellow man. American or not, we're all still fucking human at the end of the day. Like, I can't imagine, some of the things that other American citizens in this country have to go through, like the homeless veterans, or the desperate single mother who immigrated up here from South America and now has permanent legal residence, has to fucking deal with what our federal government is doing right now. That sort of shit to me is it's super fucked up and immoral. But the Republicans are going to defend it no matter what. The MAGA types are going to defend it no matter what. And it's not about right or wrong for them. It's just about power for them. That's all they care about. They just want power, power, power. Right or wrong. Moral or immoral. They don't give a fuck. And so, this is to my MAGA people out there. If you ever think that I'm going to engage with you in a fair and balanced manner from now on, I'm not going to. Fuck you people. You're assholes. And you're fucking assholes, and you don't care. You should, but you don't. Well, I tell you one thing right now. If you're an asshole for long enough, someone's going to fuck you. Someone is going to fuck you. And I'm going to laugh when that shit happens.
It's because they don't see them as people. They just don't. They just don't see them as people. They think that it's deserved. They think that the immigrants deserve it. They think that the poor people deserve it. They think the queer people deserve it. They think that the gay people deserve it. They definitely think the trans people deserve it, even if they're children. They think that the black people deserve it. They think that anybody who is not white, Christian, deserves it. They do not see people. They see transactions. They see commodities. They see things to use. And the thing is, they don't even know it. It's so sneaky, the way that this has come into their lives. They have no idea. They think that they see them as people, as humans, but they don't. They have no clue. We've got a lot of work to do, and we don't have time to cry. Not about this. We've got a lot of healing that needs to happen in the white community, and a lot of deconstruction. We've got to pull the ugliness that is white supremacy out of our souls. It's gonna hurt. It's gonna suck. But we're not alone. But it's the only way to actually see people as people.
Yeah. There are two ways to spell MAGA. The first one is C-U-L-T. The second one is M-A-Z-I. That's all there is to it. Some of us have seen that since the beginning of the first election in 2016. And we kept speaking up about it for almost a decade now, but they don't listen because they don't want to listen. They know exactly what they're doing, and he's fueling and enabling their hatred. He's giving them a get out of jail free card to do whatever they want, say whatever they want, hate however they want. And they're thriving on it.
I voted Trump in 2016, and all I got was Epstein and hookers. He wrote a check for his hooker from the Oval Office. That's pretty much the opposite of America. And 250 children on Epstein Island? No. More like 200,000. We're talking over 20 years of that stuff. And we have yet to see footage of Donald Trump saving these kids from the 90s. And I still wouldn't believe it. You guys don't even know.
Well, you know I'm upset. You can cry all you want, go back to Biden and Harris, but it's time for change. Get used to it.
I want to address this lovely young lady who thinks a joke is on her. You know, sweetheart, you're not a joke. My father is one of those Trumplicans, and it kind of sucks. But you can't be. Your video really touched my heart because I know how you feel. It really sucks to know that they don't care about us. They don't care about anybody but themselves. They're narcissists. And they'll do anything for themselves before they'll do anything for you, me, or anyone else. I've never made a stitch before on a TikTok video, but I wanted to let you know the joke's not on you. You're not a fool. You care a lot. You can tell by your video that you have a huge heart. Don't be heartbroken over a MAGA person. They're not really worth it. They will wake up one day. They will wake up and shake the cobwebs and the dust out of their eyes and their ears one day and go, where the hell am I? And then realize what the frick happened behind them in their rear view. And they'll be like, what the hell was I thinking? Kind of want to be around for that day, though. That might be fun to watch. I don't know. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be scary for them. But you seem like such a good person. You seem very sweet, very caring. I wish the world wasn't going the way it was right now because I'm absolutely terrified. As of today, I'm sitting here facing an eviction. I just lost my job. I don't know what to do. I'm really scared. And the government fiasco crap has got me really scared even more. And I'm just lost. I'm confused. I know how you feel. I know how you feel. But dealing with Maga, you get a thick skin. We all need a thick skin dealing with them. Thicker skins make you tougher. We'll get through this. We might get a little beat up, battered, bruised, and annihilated a little before we come out at the end of this in 4 years. But hopefully every one of us will have a thicker skin and be able to take on Godzilla by the end of all this. I hope everybody that sees this gets a thicker skin. And we all come through this bumped and bruised, but we will survive. I hope. I don't know if we will, but I hope we do. I really do. I hope we do. I'm going to give you a follow because I think you're such a sweetie. And my name's Robin. Glad to have you as a friend. Thank you. Please keep your chin up. Your heart will be okay. You'll be okay. Just don't let them get to you. All right? Bye, friend.
Look, let's just be real. This video is one of those rare moments where someone has an actual genuine awakening and you can feel every ounce of pain in their voices. It's not performative, it's not some calculated move to gain clout. It's raw, it's honest, and it's the kind of thing that makes you stop scrolling and actually listen. And yet, the most heartbreaking part of this entire thing isn't just his realization, it's how long it took to get here. Because here is the thing. A lot of people have been screaming this from the rooftops for years. They have been warning about exactly this, about how Maga, for a large chunk of its base, isn't about economic struggles, is not about frustration with the system, is about cruelty, is about a complete lack of care for anyone outside their bubbling. For years, people thought, oh, they just don't understand economics, they are just misinformed, they just haven't seen the policy played out yet. But the truth, they don't care, they never did. And you can see it in how they respond to this. Like, when Trump was in office and he cut taxes for billionaires but left everyday working class people with scrapes, what did they say? At least the liberals are mad. When he failed to deliver his big promises like bringing back charcoal jobs, like fixing healthcare, what did they say? At least he triggered the left. When he lost the election fair and square and incited an insurrection trying to overthrow democracy, what did they say? Well, the libs are worse. It's never been about policy. It's never been about making life better for struggling Americans. It's about power, about control, and about inflicting as much suffering as possible on anyone they perceive as the enemy. And that is where this guy's realization hit so hard, because he really thought deep down that if he just explained things the right way, he just got through to them. They did finally get it. They did look around and say, wow, you are right. I don't actually want to support policy that hurt working families or that strip people of their rights or that leave kids hungry. But instead, they double down every single time. Because let's be honest, these flocks don't want lower egg prices. They don't want a better economy. They don't want a fairy system. They want to win, and to them, winning isn't about improving life for themselves or their neighbors. It's about making sure the people they hate suffer more than they do. And that is why the Partinian quote fits so well. Remember when Trump himself joked that he could unlife someone on Fifth Avenue and not lose a single voter? That wasn't an exaggeration. That was him admitting out loud what a lot of people have been saying this whole time. His base doesn't care what he does. They don't care how much he lies, how many laws he breaks, how many damage he causes. As long as he keeps hurting the people they want to see hurt, he has their vote. And when you fully grasp that, when you really sit with it and let it sink in, it's horrifying. Because it means that there is no amount of fact, no amount of logic, no amount of suffering that will make them walk up. And you could sit down, walk them through every policy, show them how their own communities are being destroyed, and they did still say, yeah, but at least those people are suffering more. And listen, that is not to say that every single Republican or every single Maga voter thinks this way. Of course not. But when you have people actively defending the indefensible, when they see their fellow Americans struggling and the response is just, well, too bad, you have to acknowledge that this isn't just a misunderstanding. This is a fundamental issue of morality. And that is where the pain in this guy's voice really hits home. Because he actually cared. He actually thought that maybe people would wake up when they saw the reality of what they voted for. And instead, he was faced with the harsh truth that they don't care, that no more amount of suffering will change their minds, that they did rather see millions of people struggle than admit they were wrong. And so, now he is left with the heartbreaking realization that he was wrong about his own people, that he spent so much time trying to justify their actions, trying to explain them away, and in the end, they prove exactly what people had been warning about all along. And let me tell you, that is the hard pill to swallow. Because when you spend your whole life believing that people are fundamentally good, that they just need to be educated, that they just need a little more understanding, and then you are hit with the brutal reality that no, some people are just screwed and they like it that way, it shakes you to your core. And you know what is even scarier? This is just the beginning. Because the truth is, the movement, This ideology is not slowing down, it's growing. The cruelty, the indifference, the absolute obsession with power and control is all escalating. And if people don't wake up soon, if more people don't start realizing that what this guy just realized, then you are in for something even worse. But here's where I do want to end on a hopeful note, because as much as this realization is devastating, as much as it's heartbreaking, it also means something really important. He's not staying silent anymore, he's speaking up, he's using his voice, he's trying to reach the people who can be reached, and that is the powerful. That is powerful. Because even if most of them don't care, even if a huge chunk of them are beyond saving, there are still people who can be reached, people who are just starting to question things, people who are seeing this policy unfold and realizing, wait a minute, this isn't what I signed for. And for those people, for the ones who still have empathy left, for the ones who are on the edge of waking up, his voice matters. So if you are watching this, if you are feeling what he's feeling, if you are realizing just how deep this goes, then don't stay silent. Speak up, have the conversations, call it out when you see it, and most importantly, go love your neighbor. Because if you are going to fight this, we are going to push back against these waves of cruelty. We are going to need every single voice we can get. If this video resonated with you, hit the like button, subscribe, and drop a comment below. Let me know, when did you start realizing things wasn't what they seemed? Let's talk about it.